The babysitter we trusted, who secretly tried to become Mia's real mother while I was away. Sunlight spilled through our kitchen window in golden slats. Dust motes floated like lazy fireflies. Mia's laughter tripped across the countertops as she banged a wooden spoon on her cereal bowl. 4 years old and full of boundless joy. I am Sarah, Mia's mom and part-time juggler of deadlines and diaper changes. Today felt like a gift, a morning without chaos. I scooped half a banana onto Mia's plate and handed her a turkey and cheese roll-up. She cheered, her curls bouncing as she dove in. "More, Mommy!" she squealed, waving the spoon high. I tucked a stray curl behind her ear. "Save some for preschool, pumpkin." I kissed her cheek and grabbed her tiny backpack, pink with unicorns. We piled into the minivan. Mia waved at Mr. Jenkins' beagle, Buddy, slobbering at the fence. She chattered about sticker charts and playground slides. I smiled, relief knitting my chest. Mornings like this made every sleepless night worth it. At preschool, Mia raced toward the sandbox and dove in. I bent for a quick hug. "Be good, my giggle monster." She beamed, then scampered off. I watched her go, heart light, before slipping back into the driver's seat and heading home. In my home office, a corner nook I'd claimed months before, photos of Mia's birthdays and first steps lined the walls. I opened my laptop and tackled one email before the doorbell rang. Early arrival. Perfect. I straightened my blouse and opened the door to Lisa, our new babysitter. She stood tall and punctual, tote bag slung over her shoulder, eyes bright. In that moment, every worry about finding someone reliable melted away. "Hi, Mrs. Carter," Lisa said, smile steady. "Ready for Mia's first trial afternoon?" I exhaled. "Absolutely. I've got a conference call, back by 6. Feel free to make yourselves at home." I stepped aside, letting her in. Mia tumbled from the living room, spotting Lisa. "Lisa!" she shrieked, launching forward. Lisa caught her in a gentle hug. "Hi, sweetheart," Lisa cooed, soft as cotton. "Let's play peek-boo." Mia giggled, ducking behind the island, popping out with a flourish. Every peep sparked another squeal. Seeing them, I felt a wash of gratitude. Finally, someone who could share this joy, and the load. I tucked myself into the office chair, watching through the half-open door. Lisa scooped up blocks and built a tower. Mia helped, placing each block carefully, Lisa guiding her with soft encouragement. The baby monitor crackled in my ear, but the video feed stayed clear, bright blocks, brighter smiles. My fingers hovered over the keyboard, but I paused. A tight knot of relief loosened in my chest. This was the peace I'd craved all week. No guilt over missed emails or half-finished reports, just sunlight, laughter, and a capable pair of hands caring for my daughter. 20 minutes later, I glanced up. Lisa and Mia had moved on to finger painting at the kitchen table. Bright splotches of red and blue dotted the paper, and Mia's nose. Lisa laughed, her voice gentle. Mia's gummy grin spread paint everywhere. I allowed myself a real smile. "Looks like fun," I murmured, jotting a quick note on my to-do list, approved babysitter's Sunday hours. Everything felt lined up perfectly. At noon, a soft creak from the hallway made me look. Lisa peeked around the doorframe. "Lunch?" she offered. Mia hopped off her stool, clutching a handful of paint-stained paper. Lisa gently wiped her hands with a damp towel. No fuss. I stood. "I can grab something, or..." I trailed off. Lisa shook her head. "I've got it," she said. She led Mia to the pantry, choosing crackers and cheese thoughtfully. Watching them, I thought, this is more than good care. It was a bond forming. My shoulders relaxed, my mind cleared. Back at my desk, I drafted 2 emails, attended the call, and answered every question with confidence. In the monitor's corner, Mia and Lisa ate their snack like old friends. The afternoon light shifted, and I caught Lisa smoothing Mia's hair, stroking it, before tucking a loose curl behind her ear. Mia closed her eyes, content. A small tug of unease whispered behind my calm. But I shook it off. Today, Everything was right. Mia was safe. My work was humming. And Lisa, punctual, caring, attentive, seemed to fit into our world without missing a beat. As the clock edged towards 6, I closed my laptop, heart light. I picked up my purse and called out, "I'm home!" Mia's laughter answered me before I saw her, running into my arms, paint on her cheeks, joy in her eyes. Lisa stood just behind, smiling, and for a beat, I felt that simple trust glow in my chest. This was the rhythm I'd fought to create: laughter, relief, a sense that someone else could share my most precious treasure, and do it with love. And today, I believed, was just the beginning of a beautiful routine. Late afternoon light slanted through the living room blinds, painting striped patterns on the rug. I stepped through the front door, carrying Mia's backpack still half full of dried-up snacks and crayon stubs. My shoulders felt lighter than they had all week, knowing Lisa was looking after my daughter. I set the bag down and called, "Mia?" From the couch came soft chatter. I rounded the corner and froze. Lisa sat beside Mia, stroking her hair as if smoothing a silk scarf. Mia leaned into her hand with a sleepy sigh. Her little legs curled under her. "Mommy should relax more," Lisa said, voice gentle, too gentle. She met my eyes and smiled, but her gaze held something more than warmth. I swallowed. "She okay?" Lisa's smile widened. "More than okay. We've been playing dress up and reading her favorite books." She patted the cushion beside her. "Come sit. You look tired." My heart fluttered. Tired I was. But this was my role, my bond. I eased onto the edge of the sofa. The couch springs sighed beneath us. A rush of comfort washed over me, until I noticed Lisa's hand linger on Mia's shoulder, thumb brushing her collarbone. I cleared my throat. "She's been great today. Absolutely angelic." Lisa leaned forward, voice soft as down. "You know, you deserve a break. Your husband offered dinner out, if you needed a night off." She drew in a breath as Mia reached for her hand. "I volunteered to take her to the park." My pulse jangled. "Park? At this hour?" I'd have asked. "Oh, I didn't expect you'd do that today." Lisa's eyes sparkled. "Spontaneous fun!" She scooped Mia onto her lap, pressing a quick kiss to her daughter's forehead. Mia giggled and wrapped her arms around Lisa's neck. A thrill of pride warmed me. Lisa's rapport with Mia was undeniable. But beneath it, a whisper, too much, too fast. My phone buzzed. A text from James. "Stuck at work. Dinner on me if you want a break." I tapped a reply. "Thanks, maybe later." I glanced up at Lisa. She caught my gaze. "I've got this under control," she said. The words felt rehearsed, like a line in a play. I nodded, forcing a smile. "Thanks." Lisa swung her legs off the couch and stood, Mia in tow. She smoothed Mia's dress, a floral sundress that caught evening light, and offered her hand. "Park adventure, right this way." Mia beamed and reached for her hand. I swallowed the lump of unease in my throat. Actually, I think we should stick close to home today," I said, voice firmer than I felt. Lisa paused, eyes wide for a beat. Mia's grip tightened on her skirt. "Of course," Lisa said, voice still silky. "Whatever you prefer." She repositioned Mia on the couch and sat beside her, handing over a wooden puzzle. Mia dove into it, jigsaw pieces clicking into place with surprising ease. Lisa watched her, face soft, but her smile didn't reach her eyes this time. I busied myself unpacking Mia's bag, scanning for missing permission slips or forgotten notes. Every rustle of plastic baggies and clink of juice box felt amplified. I pinched the bridge of my nose as a tiny sound caught my attention, the soft scrape of Lisa's hand over the puzzle pieces, guiding Mia like an expert teacher. But this had been a simple preschool puzzle. I never asked her to help. Mia knew it. I met Lisa's glance. She swept a lock of hair behind her ear, lips curved. "She's so bright. You must be so proud." I pressed my lips together. "I am." Silence stretched. Outside, a car door slammed. A pigeon cooed just beyond the window. The playful afternoon vibe felt fragile, like soap bubbles ready to pop. I rose. "I'm going to start dinner," I said, stepping past them. The wooden floor creaked under my weight, a reminder of that loose floorboard I'd discovered in our bedroom weeks ago. In the kitchen, the hum of the refrigerator filled the space. I slid open the fridge door and stared at its contents: leftovers, condiments, a single cupcake from last night's party. My gaze drifted to the living room. I heard Lisa's soft laughter, like a lullaby, and Mia's gleeful response. A pang of possessiveness struck me harder than fatigue ever could. This is my role. I closed the fridge and turned to peel carrots, gripping the peeler tight enough to leave ridges on my palm. I inhaled, tasting both the sweetness of dinner prep and the metallic tang of worry. Lisa's help was a blessing, but her sudden closeness, her unsolicited outings, her intimate texts, they felt like invisible lines creeping closer to my place. I finished slicing carrots and set them into a bowl. Steam from the sink's hot water coiled into the air. I wiped my hands and squared my shoulders. I would keep watching. Because some bonds shouldn't be shared, and mine with Mia was one of them. Night settled into the house like a slow exhale. I tiptoed past the living room, earbuds in, listening to conference call playback through my phone. Mia lay asleep upstairs, the baby monitor crackling softly in my pocket. I paused at the monitor's speaker, hearing Lisa's voice, too close, too soft. "And you're my little girl," Lisa cooed. The words hit me like a cold draft. My little girl. A soft thud from upstairs, Mia shifting in her crib. I crept to the monitor ear pressed. Lisa laughed quietly and replied, "Yes, sweetheart, you can have a snack." The sound of a cupboard creaking followed, then the rustle of a plastic bag. My stomach twisted. I'd specifically told Lisa, no snacks after 6. Mia's bedtime routine needed discipline. I slipped my phone from my pocket and stepped into the hallway. The floorboard beneath my sock squeaked, an old plank I'd meant to fix. The unexpected squeal was my alarm. I followed the sound to the kitchen. Under the cabinet, the snack cupboard sat open. Lisa stood in slippers, handing Mia a handful of graham crackers. Mia's eyes were bright and the moonlight spilling through the window. "Mama said no more snacks?" I said, voice brittle. Lisa startled, nearly dropping the crackers. "Sarah? I just thought she'd be hungry." She flashed a practiced smile. Motherly instinct. Mia turned, cuddling both crackers like prized treasure. "Thanks, Lisa," she chirped. My jaw clenched. "That's not what I meant." I crossed my arms. "I asked you to watch her, not spoil her." Lisa's smile flickered. She tucked a strand of hair behind her ear. "Oh, Sarah, you work so hard. Sometimes kids need a little extra love." Her tone was soothing, like someone massaging away my tension. I felt the baby monitor buzz in my hand. I glanced at it, red light pulsing, live. I took a breath. "Love is different from..." I stopped. Photos popped up on my phone, sent moments ago from Lisa's number. I unlocked them, Mia finger painting in the hallway, paint smudged into her hair, a selfie of Lisa and Mia hugging on the couch. I never took those pictures. A cold knot twisted in my gut. Lisa's smile was too knowing, too precise. She set a cracker on a low stool and crouched beside Mia. "We made crafts today," she said, nodding at Mia's paint splash drawings taped around the fridge. "She's so creative with me." I pressed my lips together. "I don't remember setting out finger paint today." Lisa stood, brushing her jeans. "I brought it, thought it'd be fun." She tucked her phone into her pocket. "These days, kids need memories." My protective instinct roared. "This is my job." I stepped forward. "Please don't give her anything I don't approve. And send pictures after I approve them." Lisa's face fell. "I'm just trying to help you be a better mom, Sarah." I swallowed. Her words stung, like a knife disguised as a pat on the back. "This isn't your role." Lisa straightened, voice cool. "I thought I was the one getting replaced." My blood ran cold. Her vague admission hit like a slap. She's trying to replace me. Mia toddled toward us, crackers forgotten? I scooped her up, wrapping her arms around my neck. Her head rested on my shoulder, soft hair brushing my cheek. "Mommy's here," I whispered. Lisa watched us, hands folded. The creak of the loose floorboard echoed beneath my feet. I squeezed Mia tighter. Lisa tapped her lip, voice low. "I know you love her. And one day, I hope you see I'm just as much a mother to her." My heart pounded. That single sentence, just as much a mother, shattered any illusion of innocence. I backed toward the hallway. Bedtime now. Lisa's eyes flicked to the clock, 9:15 p.m. Of course. She helped me carry Mia toward the stairs. Her hand lingered on Mia's back as if she couldn't bear to let go. At the top of the stairs, I tucked Mia into her crib. She yawned and curled into her blanket. Lisa dipped to kiss her brow. "Sweet dreams, my little girl." Mia murmured, "Night, Lisa." Lisa watched me, face unreadable. Then she turned and slipped down the stairs, leaving me alone under the nursery night light's glow. My hand trembled on the railing. The house was quiet again, too quiet. I felt the weight of Lisa's intrusion settle over me. I pressed a hand to my heart, feeling it hammer with fierce protectiveness. No one replaces me. And with that vow echoing in the silent house, I realized this battle for my daughter's heart had only just begun. The next afternoon's sun was an insult, bright and careless, when I canceled my meeting and raced home. My stomach twisted in knots as I drove, imagining every scenario where Lisa might have crossed another line. I pulled into the driveway and almost ran to the front door, unlocking it with shaking hands. The living room was silent. My heart pounded, feeling too loud in the hush. I crept down the hallway toward Mia's room, each step swallowed by the soft carpet. Peeking inside, I found a sight that throttled my breath. Lisa sat on Mia's bed, reading from a storybook titled, "Mommy's Bed is Best." Mia leaned into her, wide-eyed, as Lisa's calm voice narrated pages I'd never ordered. The room smelled of lavender, not the baby-scented spray I used, but a heavier, unfamiliar perfume. "Mia loves this one," Lisa said, turning a page with theatrical flourish. "'Cause Mommy's bed truly is best." She looked up and caught my eye. Her smile curved, sugary sweet but laced with something else. I stepped through the door, that initial warmth slamming into icy shock. "Where did you get that book?" I demanded, voice steadier than I felt. Lisa's head tilted. "Oh, sweetie, I brought it. I thought it'd help her feel cozy." She patted the mattress, gesturing for me to join. I shook my head, arms folded. Mia looked between us, confusion flickering in her eyes. "That's not ours." Lisa set the book aside. "You work so much, Sarah. Mia needs more than check-ins. I give her real attention." Her gaze softened as she touched Mia's cheek. "I give her what she truly needs." My chest constricted. This wasn't about caring. It was about replacing me. I moved forward, hard at drum. "That's enough." Lisa stood, slipping the book behind her back as if to hide it. "You're here now," she said. "But some nights you're gone, exhausted. I can take her out, give her sunshine, laughter, the bond you can't." I stepped between her and the open door. My pulse hammered in my throat. "I'll decide when she goes out." Lisa's eyes narrowed, a flicker of desperation passing across her features. She took a careful breath. "I just want her to be happy." Tears stung my eyes. "So do I." I reached for Mia, who scrambled free of Lisa's arms and stood clutching my skirt. I lifted her, cradling her close. She buried her face in my shoulder, tiny arms tightening around my neck. Lisa's jaw flexed. She moved to flank us, but I pivoted, backing toward the door. She matched my steps, blocking my path. "Let me help," she insisted, voice low. I planted my feet. "No." A faint creak of the floorboard under my heel reminded me of every small warning I'd ignored. "Not here, not ever." Lisa's shoulders drooped, and for a moment I saw sorrow, not villainy, in her eyes. Then she shook her head, stiffening. "You don't understand what she needs," she said. I do. I set Mia down, wrapping my arms around her. She needs her mother. Not a substitute. Lisa's lips twisted into a sad smile. One day, you'll see I was right. Fear flickered through me. She took a step toward Mia as if to snatch her away. My protective instinct roared. I scooped Mia into my arms and turned, yanking open the door. Help! I shouted, voice cracking. The living room felt miles away. I sprinted toward the foyer, Mia pressed against my chest. Lisa hesitated, gaze flicking from Mia to me. I caught sight of the neighbor, Mr. Alvarez, standing at the end of the drive, eyes wide. I waved frantically. He jogged up the walk as I carried Mia outside. Sarah! Everything okay? He called. Lisa backed into the hallway. I was just leaving. Mr. Alvarez placed himself between us. You all right, Mia? His voice was firm, protective. I clutched Mia close. She's fine. I turned to Lisa, voice shaking with relief and anger. Leave. Now. Lisa's shoulders slumped. She looked at Mia, my daughter, then at me. Her face hardened. Without a word, she slipped past Mr. Alvarez and walked out the front door, shoulders hunched like a penitent. I sank to the steps, Mia in my lap. Mr. Alvarez knelt beside us. Do you need me to call someone? I nodded, tears spilling. Please call the agency. And the police. He dialed swiftly as I cradled Mia, tracing little circles on her back. A flashback of every gentle boundary Lisa had overstepped. Late snacks, too familiar touches, unsolicited outings, raced through my mind. Each memory snapped into place, revealing her agenda: replace me. Within minutes, a patrol car rolled up. I gave my statement on the porch, Mia's hand clenched in mine. Lisa had already driven off. The agency promised immediate action. When the neighbors drifted back indoors, I hugged Mia tight. Mommy's never letting you go, I whispered, voice of promise. Inside, I placed my hand on the creaking floorboard in the hallway. Our home, my sanctuary, though it held firm beneath my palm. I exhaled, feeling the first true sense of safety in days. Tonight I reclaim my role. And no one, not even the one I trusted most, will ever take it from me again. Early evening light filtered through the front windows, casting amber pools on the foyer rug. I stood in the doorway, heart pounding, Mia safe in my arms. Lisa lingered on the threshold, gaze flicking between us and the hallway where Mr. Alvarez hovered. The neighbor's silhouette framed the frame of our front door, protective and steady. Mia, sweetheart, I murmured, pressing her close. Her small head lolled against my shoulder, eyes wide with confusion. Lisa's lips twitched, as if she wanted to say something more, but the sight of Mr. Alvarez stepping forward froze her in place. I took a decisive breath, burying my fear in resolve. Lisa, I said, voice firm. You need to leave now. Please. Lisa's hand wavered over Mia's back, once so reassuring, now a threat. She swallowed, eyes darting from my face to the front porch where dusk settled. The perfumed calm I once found comforting now felt suffocating. We've called your agency, I continued, voice unwavering. They'll be here shortly. The police, too. Her gaze flickered with panic. You can't. Please step off my property, I said, each word measured. Do not come near me again. Mr. Alvarez stepped closer, hand on his phone. Let's give her some space. His firm presence created a buffer, a line Sarah would not let Lisa cross again. Lisa's shoulders slumped. For a fleeting moment, I saw regret, or perhaps the desperate loneliness behind her obsession. She inhaled shakily and nodded. Without another word, she turned and crossed the lawn, tall form swallowed by dusk. Inside, I sank onto the bottom step, Mia clutching my shirt as her tears dampened the fabric. I rocked her gently, whispering, Mommy's here. Mommy's not going anywhere. A moment later, sirens wailed in the distance, faint but growing closer. My phone buzzed. Agency, we've dispatched a team. Officer Ramirez en route. I exhaled relief that trembled into sobs. As I cradled Mia, Images of Lisa's earlier intrusions flashed behind my eyes. Finger painting lesson in the hallway. Lisa guiding Mia's hand while I watched the monitor, unaware of how deep the bond had already grown. Late afternoon park suggestion. Lisa bypassing my authority to offer unscheduled outings, as if to test my limits. Forbidden snacks. Lisa's soft laughter in the kitchen as Mia devoured crackers she wasn't allowed, all recorded in the monitor's static glow. Photos in my inbox. Lisa's carefully staged snapshots of mother and child moments I'd never captured, a silent claim on our family. The storybook. Mommy's bed is best. Lisa's gift to cement her place in Mia's nightly routine. Each memory sharpened my resolve. She tried to replace me, wear my title, rewrite my role. But here, on my own porch, I reclaimed my place. A knock at the door, and standing there was Officer Ramirez, uniform crisp, badge gleaming in the dim light. He stepped inside on my invitation. "Are you okay, ma'am?" His voice was calm, professional. I guided him down to the foyer, Mia still in my arms. She tried to take her," I said, voice cracking. I handed over a trembling statement, the storybook, the pawned photos I'd screenshot, the baby monitor recordings. He listened, taking notes, compassion softening his eyes. "I'll escort you to your agency to press charges," he said, looking up from his pad. "And we'll file a report for trespassing and attempted child endangerment." I nodded, my chest tight. "Thank you." Mia, sensing safety, reached out and touched my cheek. Her small hand, warm and trusting, anchored me. Later, after Lisa's agency confirmed her termination and the police dropped off a report copy, I tucked Mia into her own bed. The room, once the site of intrusion, felt peaceful again. I kissed her forehead, brushing her hair out of her face. "Mommy's your one and only," I whispered. Mia mumbled, "Love you, Mommy," and drifted to sleep. Downstairs, I locked the front door, testing its latch twice. The creaking floorboard underfoot felt reassuring, solid, unchanged by betrayal. I sank at my desk and opened my journal, pen poised. In neat lines I wrote, "Today, I stopped the one person I trusted most from taking my place. I protected Mia's world, and my own. No one replaces me." Closing the journal, I exhaled, feeling fear dissipate into resolve. I was my daughter's mother, unchallenged, unshakable, and I would never allow anyone to forget it. Morning light filtered through the kitchen curtains, casting a warm glow over our mismatched mugs and the half-finished puzzle on the table. Mia sat between me and James, crayon in hand, humming as she doodled. The home we'd nearly lost in shadows now felt solid again. We had one last task before breakfast: craft our family rules. I laid out markers and a large sheet of paper. James pulled 2 chairs close, and together we wrote the heading in Jane's playful scrawl. Our family rules. Only Mommy and Daddy tuck me in. Only Mommy and Daddy choose my bedtime snacks. We always talk before we go out. Mommy's hugs are the best medicine. Mia added a doodle of our house, windows shining, a heart above the roof. I looped my arm around her and kissed her forehead. James stood and hung the poster on the fridge, our new manifesto against any future intrusions. He stepped back, hands on hips, proud. "Looks official," he said, offering me a smile that reached his eyes. I nodded, feeling a swell of unity. Official and permanent. Mia climbed down and ran to the counter for syrup. James poured pancakes. I slid into the seat, tracing the poster's bold letters with my finger. Each rule was a promise, to guard our sanctuary and honor our bond. Over breakfast, Mia pressed her spoon into my hand. "I love our rules," she said, crumbs on her lips. "Mommy and Daddy only." My heart bloomed. "Me too, pumpkin." I lifted her into my lap for a syrupy kiss. Later, I settled at my desk with my journal, the one I'd started after Lisa's betrayal. I flipped to the final page and wrote, "I am my daughter's one and only mother. No one can take my place." I paused, pen hovering. The memory of Lisa's soft, "My little girl," echoing through the monitor lingered, but I'd blocked it out with a firm resolve. I closed the journal and placed it on the shelf beside Mia's baby book, a testament to how far we'd come. James appeared at the doorframe, carrying a second coffee. He handed me the mug. "To us," he said, lifting his own. "To truth and trust." I clinked my mug against his. "To family, unbreakable." We stood together, watching Mia chase the cat through the sunlit living room, laughter trailing behind her like a banner. The loose floorboard in the hallway hadn't been fixed yet, but today, it didn't matter. Our foundation was stronger than any shifting wood. In that moment, I trusted not just the walls around us, but the bond at our center. And as I sipped my coffee, I whispered, a promise sealed with every beat of my heart. I will never let anyone replace me.